Merry Meet and welcome. We are working on our level 1 white cake. I know this is like, I don't know, it just took me so long to get here even though I've had like these ingredients forever. And so anyways, we'll have the recipe that we're modifying linked below, but we're gonna go ahead and start with just our room temperature butter. So the longer you can let it sit, the better, but we're essentially just getting it down to this creamier texture here. And I'm using it in the larger bowl because essentially it seems like it's better to merge everything into this. So that is looking pretty good. So we are going to go ahead and add in the oil and the sugar. And I lost a little butter on that. Yeah, I don't know if there was like a better rhyme or reason to do that, but essentially now we're going to be creaming together all of our fats and the sugar. So once that feels like pretty good incorporated, we'll add the extract. So as always, if you are trying to make sure something is like being well mixed within it, you want to make sure that you're like squishing it against the side so that you can kind of get that thinness, so that you know it's really like every little bit of it's getting touched. So that's about as good as we're gonna get it. Here's our vanilla extract to complete our wets for the most part. You can also use almond extract at this point, or any other kind, whatever you'd like, by the way. But yeah, here we go. Very meat again. So we have our flour here, we have our baking powder, and as always our salt. We're just going to mix this together before we go ahead and bring back our buttery mixture. We're going to pour in about half of our flour mixture, and then we're going to pour in about half of our milk, or however much you want, really. No really rhyme or reason to it. And we're just gonna get this mixed in, doing concentric circles, starting from small circles inside until moving outwardly to make bigger circles to start incorporating the outside. Okay, oh, we're gonna add the rest of the milk here, and then the rest of the flour mixture. And then kind of same thing. And our batter's almost done. This next part, I don't have a stand mixer, as I don't know if I'm famous for it, but infamous, sure. No. I don't have one, so if I did, I mean, we probably would be using it right here. But my point to this being is we are going to be using aquafaba for our egg white replacement. It is a very popular egg replacement altogether, but it's a perfect egg white replacement, which is great for white cake. And that also means that it's not too much of a switch for what we need. So this is our batter for the most part. Now we're gonna go ahead and mix up our egg whites. Marry me again. So we have our aquafaba in here. Aquafaba, by the way, is garbanzo beans or chickpeas. They're juices that they come in a can, so it's really useful. And then the can has been in the fridge to help thicken it up and really give that viscosity that you normally get with them. So will we be able to get a meringue like it's kind of asking us for in this recipe? I don't know, but we are getting a nice foaminess. So there's that. If I had a mixer, I probably could, because you actually can use aquafaba for egg whites in meringue famously. Okay, so I'm gonna do this as much as possible, and then we'll see you guys later when I'm folding it into the mixture. Marry me again. Okay, so this is about the best I can personally get it, but it is able to stay nice and foamed up, and we're just going to fold it into the batter, and that's really all we can do. So of course, if we were able to get those stiff meringue peaks, and really if I just had the stand-in mixer or was more patient, it would be just fine. But here we are. So our batter might end up not being as fluffy and more wet, but as long as we get our eyes, I think I'll say we won. Anyways, I was just, yeah. I always try to do something a little bit more experimental. If you're just making a normal cake and you're not trying to do like what I was doing to fold a meringue into it, which by the way, look, it's looking great still. Aquafaba is fantastic. You can go find many other people who test aquafaba. It is known as one of the better egg replacements. Anyways, yeah, this is looking pretty good here. I honestly was doing only half of what the recipe calls for, and we still got like so much. So I don't know, maybe a good recipe, maybe not. Not as much, like, you don't have to use as much batter is my point to get what you need. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and bake these at 350, and you know, just test to make sure that it's all looking good. I'm gonna try to get a couple of even layers, so I might only fill these both about halfway versus 3/4. Okay. Ooh, and then we're going to make a vegan buttercream. Oh yeah, by the way, if I didn't say it, that like butter that we had at the very beginning was vegan. I don't know, sometimes I feel if I don't make it obvious, it'll be like something terrible will happen. Can you say anxiety? Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and put these in the oven, and I'll see you guys when we're working on the buttercream. Marry me again. So we have our cakes in the oven, and now we're going to work on a vegan buttercream. I have no idea why I said it that way. I'm kind of in a better mood lately, so yay me. Anyways, so this is, I'm using a half recipe again. I'll have this linked as well. This I did go ahead and take from another vegan one because I just wanted to make sure, because I've never made buttercream in general, so I was like, if I don't know how it tastes, I don't want to do it. But anyways, I'm going to cream this a little bit just like we did earlier with the white cake itself, just to make this a little bit more pliable for us. And again, this is why you really want to make sure you let things get into room temperature, because it can be so nice and easy, and then you don't need a stand mixer, number one, right? And then, so I already put like since I'm using half the 1/8 teaspoon of salt there in with our powdered sugar. And then I'm just gonna do this a little bit, and then I'm gonna add our vanilla because we want that liquid to help us out here. And then, yeah, we're just gonna mix it, and we're gonna try and be very careful with this. This is definitely why they do a stand mixer, because then you like do it on slow and it's like, oh, okay. Also, maybe I'm just a newbie, because hers, she just kind of like had it like, oh, I'll mix in one. Just throw it and go. I don't know. Anyways. It's not like it is working, to be fair. That's one of the key reasons why you always want to do that like spreading method that I keep talking about, because then you start to see exactly how like liquid truly can spread itself. And then see, so we're getting it now into like that more creamy texture. I probably could add some milk to make this a little bit more doable, because that is hard, and I really don't think that's going to be enough to cover, but essentially that's vegan buttercream, you know. So I'm gonna add some milk just to thin it up a little bit for my purposes, but that's it. There you go. I'll see you guys later when we're decorating. Mary meet again. So you may have noticed earlier that I had not oiled my pans. I completely forgot. So that's why we have this not very layered, just but partially layered cake here. Essentially I went ahead and taste tested it, but it is not good visible on camera. The cake completely collapsed, but it's still delicious on the side. And you know, the buttercream works, it's delicious, and the cake works. So it was just me, human error, that did not work. With that though, this was essentially your level 1 Sims white cake. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.